Yo, what's going on, my Paisanos? Welcome back to a brand new special video. In today's video, I actually want to talk about something that I've actually had on my mind for a long time now, and I've actually tried to record this video multiple different times in like the past year or so. And I think it's finally time for me to address this thing, considering the fact that it was such a big thing on my channel just a couple of years ago. And I feel like now it's time for me to come clean. I used to make a lot of Danganronpa videos on this channel. Like, Danganronpa was like my shiz night. Ever since I played Danganronpa 1, which was like 7 years ago now, when I played Danganronpa 1, that was one of the biggest, most amazing games I've ever played in my life. And I've always wanted to give like the series justice with, fan art and videos and just coverage in general, because I just thought the series did so much for me. I think it literally actually changed my life. And all along the way, I've actually tried to do like Let's Plays and reviews, and I'll get to that later too. And I've tried to actually, cover the Danganronpa series in a lot of different ways. It wasn't until about 2020 where I kind of blew up in terms of what happened with Danganronpa. I think I finally fulfilled that destiny. Danganronpa became the mainstay of my channel when I started talking about how Danganronpa was coming to mobile, and that was a video that really legitimately blew up my channel. I went from under 500 subscribers to later that year having finally achieved my goal that I've been having for, at that point in my life, probably about like 9 years, of like having 1,000 subscribers on my channel. I had literally transformed Danganronpa into like a mainstay on my channel, because to be honest with you, it wasn't just about trying to get views or whatever. Although, just coincidentally, Danganronpa really did blow up because of the lockdown at that point in time. But I legitimately love Danganronpa, and I just wanted to see more of the series. I wanted to see more people talk about, certain things in the series, like some theories or why things are the way they are. Or again, like the most popular video on my channel is why Danganronpa 1 or Danganronpa 2 never got an anime, with V3 never getting an anime just right behind that. And I actually legitimately love those times. Like, those were some really great times. I met a lot of damn people around that time. And I remember even one day I went on VR chat and I went to the Danganronpa world with like the cards and whatever. And someone or the people legitimately did recognize me when I said that I did make Danganronpa videos. Or I think it was even before I even said I made Danganronpa videos. But that was the craziest part about that time, because I couldn't believe that one of my favorite franchises of the time, I was actually legitimately representing it kind of well, and by a lot of people. But the thing about it is that later on that year in 2021, or later the next year, my computer died and I had to get another computer. And if you know anything about me, you will know that I have autism and ADHD. So to be honest with you guys, when I was doing those Danganronpa videos, I had gotten into a rhythm about, doing those videos a lot. And I was able to make those videos pretty dang quickly. But I was also able to put a lot of effort into them, because the best way for me to make videos personally is for me to start small and then keep going up and up and up. And then, of course, it does make me actually edit for a lot longer, but that was how it was going. Having a routine, having a structure, and having the amazing feedback that I was getting from the Danganronpa videos made me want to actually make them a lot more. Now, to be honest, because of the fact that I actually had that computer crisis at the first part of 2021, that is really what led to like 2021 being my less productive years. Like, that was not really a good year for my productivity in general. And I really fell off at that time, unfortunately. And I still do reject that, but that was because I actually fell off of a routine. And ever since then, Danganronpa has actually, and it wasn't just like my channel. Of course, after that, that's when Danganronpa kind of became a little bit, stagnant. The reason why is really because the real reason why I have not really been talking about Danganronpa is because, to be honest here, the series is actually over, right? Like, you can't, like, if you talk to Metal Gear or whatever, the only other thing in the Metal Gear series besides Metal Gear Solid 5 was like Metal Gear Online. And no one likes Metal Gear Online and, all that stuff. That's not this video. That's not this channel. I don't talk about Metal Gear. But that was what was going on at that time. And really, there was nothing else going on with the series of Metal Gear, because, there's no other story to go beyond from that, And that's kind of the case with Danganronpa. After V3, this series kind of doesn't really need or has any justifiable reason to have any sequels. Now, technically, yes, you could maybe have sequels that actually do take place in different universes and stuff like that. But at the same time, that does not seem justifiable for a series like Danganronpa, especially if you know without spoilers about what happens in Danganronpa V3. Because of that, the Danganronpa series has not been having any like new animes or new even manga or any type of like new publication of any game or anything like that. There's just nothing going on with the series, and that kind of is probably the main reason why I haven't made any Danganronpa videos as of late. Now, I will get to what you probably are kind of thinking about later in this video, but I will say right now that I will defend Danganronpa for this. I don't think every single series has to go out or go on forever and ever and ever and ever, because that's just not really feasible. Like, you don't have to have a series go on forever, especially when you have a story-driven narrative like Danganronpa, where it does have a definitive beginning, middle, and end. So honestly, I thought that this was just kind of the norm. I do straight up miss talking about Danganronpa, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's not really needed. You don't really have to keep the story going just for having the sake of story going. Now, I also was trying multiple different times on my channel to get, other Danganronpa projects actually started up, such as the Danganronpa review, a lot of other Danganronpa discussions I've actually wanted to do. And of course, I've wanted to actually celebrate Danganronpa multiple different times. Now, we are actually coming up around the 15th anniversary of Danganronpa, which is actually convenient timing for me, which means that I can potentially right my wrongs. So that means that I can legitimately have a Danganronpa 1 review out sometime this year. I do not promise that, because every time I say that, that never actually happens, but I'm going to try to see where my momentum takes me. And even though I'm off my medication, I will try to actually get these videos actually done. I will just say right now, as much like I love Danganronpa, right? But I feel like, I've met so many people with Danganronpa. I've met my friends that I've had for now like 6 years through Danganronpa. I've met a lot of people. I've drawn a lot of fan art, and I don't even want to get started about Ibuki. That's her own video right there. But I have absolutely loved this series. I will say right now, if you want to talk about someone who loves Danganronpa, I am that guy. I am just the guy that knows so much about the series, and I have such an emotionally, spiritually deep connection with this series in of itself. And it really did make me achieve my goals and all that stuff. And I have nothing but like praise to give this series for that. And I will say right now, maybe there might actually be some type of continuation of this series actually in the future. Just because we don't have anything right now doesn't mean that the series can't maybe potentially reboot or have any type of new continuation or something of the sort. Who knows? A remake, maybe like a 3D platforming Danganronpa game or a car racing game. I don't know. The series could actually evolve into any other form if it really so choose. But I will say right now, that doesn't invalidate any of the memories that maybe you and I have had with this series in of itself. Now, again, this isn't going to be my last Danganronpa video, hopefully, because I really want to, give this series its proper look at, of everything that I've always kind of loved about this series. And obviously, I don't want to just, live it out with like a wet fart or whatever, I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, obviously, I love Danganronpa. Now, I will address the other thing. Now, there are actually continuations or spiritual successors to Danganronpa. There have actually been spiritual successors to Danganronpa. Not really spiritual. I mean, they're kind of like its own thing. But Kodaka, the main writer and director of Danganronpa, has actually made other things, such as stuff like Dreams Come True, World's End, and especially stuff like Master Detective Archives, Rain Code, Tribe 9, and the 100-line Last Defense Academy, which just came out this year. Now, as far as I know, Tribe 9 is ending its service in November. That game, for some reason, was going to be a live service game or whatever for smartphones or something like that, and it's going to actually die later this year. I have no idea how it died so fast. It already has an end date, but it is going to be dying at that time. Master Detective Rain Codes, now, I don't see many people talking about that game, but it was released like 2 years ago. And I actually really want to play that for you guys sometime. I actually do want to talk about it. If you guys want to see that, then let me know. And also, of course, you know, the 100-line Last Defense Academy. Now, I think this one probably is the most spiritual successor to Danganronpa because it's literally called the 100-line Last Defense Academy. That literally sounds like it's about to be straight up like another Danganronpa game spiritually. Now, I haven't played this game yet, and honestly, what I originally was actually going to do was I was going to play that game originally on my channel, or I was going to actually stream it, but my computer died, and that's where we're actually at right now, and, you know, basically thank the computer for me not being able to actually cover that game. I will have to say right now, I have not actually, you know, looked into the other games that Kodaka has actually made other than this, but I will say that Kodaka does actually make other games. And I feel like the spirit of Danganronpa is actually in those games as well. And I feel like Danganronpa is not the only thing that we can rely on for some good mystery-coded Pepto-Bismol goodness. I don't know. I don't know if the blood is going to be the same. I'm just saying. But there are other series that are not, you know, just Danganronpa. But with that being said, guys, I just wanted to highlight the reasons why I haven't made Danganronpa videos. I kind of don't really need to explain myself, but I felt like I really needed to because Danganronpa was such a big thing on my channel. Like, I really loved Danganronpa. I loved making the videos. I loved seeing the comments. And I loved all the people who did support me because I made those videos. And I just really love every single last one of the moments that I had with that series. One of the biggest, I'll put this into perspective. I actually legitimately had original recordings for when I blindly played Danganronpa 1, 2, and V3. And guess what happened to those recordings? All of them are gone. Literally not like the first maybe 2 episodes or 2 8-hour sessions or whatever are still like on my old my VideoCam channel. But the rest of that stuff is gone. The whole entire ending of Danganronpa 1, the first time I actually met Ibuki, or chapter 4 of Danganronpa V3, which I really loved, all of that's gone. So to be honest with you, that has always ached my heart. I always hated losing those recordings. There is a possibility that I could still do like streams or let's plays or whatever for those games. And honestly, I've been thinking about replaying the first game actually very much recently. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Should I stream it or should I do let's plays of it, or what do you guys think I should actually do? With that being said, guys, I love Danganronpa, and I know that if you're watching this video, then you probably do love it as well. And don't worry, even though that the series does seem like it's being stagnant, we do not have to live in despair because we can live in hope that Danganronpa will never die. With that being said, guys, thank y'all for watching this video. If you guys like this video, subscribe if you want to see more. But as always, guys, Johnny.